hey! This is gonna be a podcast video. I've got all this footage from a delightful Sunday meal that Sam and I made. There wasn't really enough audio to string together into a cohesive narrative, orally speaking. So here we are. We're just gonna be chit-chatting over the top of the video. Pretty soon Sam is gonna join me and Jack is gonna join me, and we're just gonna shoot the breeze while you watch some quick clips of chop, 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 and scrape, 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 and stir, 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 and yummy, yummy. And yeah, okay, well, let's get to it. First things first, gotta make some focaccia dough. 3, 2, 1.
It's 12:30 and I need to start the focaccia.
Alright, so this is Samin Nosrat's recipe, by the way. Learned it from a video where she visited Brad Leone in the test kitchen and taught him how to make focaccia. Alright, first you need flour. You need 5 1/3 cups. 5 cups and 1/3 of a cup of flour. Yes, here I am forgetting exactly how much I had already scooped. Had to stop the video, verify with the video, got right back on track. Then, alright, you need 2 tablespoons of salt. I'm working with a big grain kosher salt. Sea salt? I don't know the difference. Alright, so I should have done this first, but you need 2.5 cups of nice and warm water. To activate the yeast, you're going to put it in a separate bowl. Then I use honey to activate the yeast. If you are a person who doesn't eat honey, you can also just use sugar. Same amount has worked for me before I've done it. Get a 1/2 teaspoon of yeast. It's not much yeast because you don't need much. This takes a nice 12 to 14 hour nap on the counter overnight. So if you use any more yeast, it would just explode. 1/2 teaspoon is all you need. Alright, shut up and just do it. This is as bloomy as it gets because it's not that much yeast. The first time I made this, I was a little concerned. Maybe that's not enough foam on the yeast, but no, totally works. Trust the process. So then you're gonna mix it all up together. For some reason, this particular time that I made it, the dough was extremely tacky, very moist. I don't really know why. I did all the measurements correctly. I even had video to verify that I did it right. It just turned out wet. But it's such a beautifully soft dough. Oh, should have said before, all-purpose flour, don't use bread flour. Bread flour gets freaky with this recipe. It gets super taut and like rubbery. Don't use it. All-purpose is the winner. But because it was so wet, I ended up adding a couple sprinkles of flour just by eye to see if I could get it to a better consistency. Then you need a cup of olive oil. Samin recommends that you use really delicious, tasty, nice olive oil. It's only 1/4 cup, but it does make a difference if you use cheaper oil versus a little bit nicer oil. The oil I used was only, I think this whole big thing was like $16, so it's not that expensive, but it definitely tastes better than just like the Berea or whatever olive oil, Target brand. Alright, so then you're going to mix it all up. We're going to cover her up with some saran wrap. Gotta clean up the kitchen. Scrub, scrub. and tuck her in for a nice night's sleep. For some reason I put a rag, a cloth over top. I've never done this before. I don't really know why I did it, but I did. It ended up rising pretty fast. Because of this, it just, more heat stayed in. It just rose more quickly. So the following day, I ended up trying to retard the rising process a bit by putting it in the fridge for around 30 minutes, and that did help. All right. Hey guys.
Hi.
Hey.
Oh. I should say out loud.
Alright, we'll do that again.
Hey.
Hey guys. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
We are here to talk about things that have nothing to do with the dinner we had a week and a half ago.
That was really delicious, though.
Was that what's playing during this?
That's what's playing during this.
Yeah. Cool.
We're just gonna touch it and go.
Touch and go.
Touch and go.
That was a good part of the dinner.
The touching
The
and
touching
going.
and going.
No, the part that's on the screen right now.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh man, that garlic, that played an integral role in the
Wow.
sauce.
I love the pizza. I mean,
I loved that
bread.
broccoli side.
The tater tots.
The yams.
The
Oh,
yams.
Lord.
oh my gosh, the strudel.
Oh my god.
It was, needless to say, delicious. So enjoy watching all the cooking prep here. Meanwhile, we're going to talk about dreams. Do you dream?
Oh, yeah.
Do you dream?
Uh,
Just want to yes or no. Don't want to know about
I
it.
dream 25% of the time.
Yeah.
Really?
What kind of dreams are they?
Usually kind of here or there, like the ones that they're not particularly intense or anything. They're just very visceral in ways that, I don't really mind not dreaming, to be honest.
When you do dream, are they scenes? Is there dialogue?
Yeah, for sure.
And people that you know?
Yeah, people that I know. I'm trying to remember the last time I dreamt, but it was definitely one like a couple weeks ago that I woke up and was like kind of like had to reacclimate myself to not being in a dream. And I was like, yeah, that was fine, and I'm kind of fine not doing that as well.
Yeah.
Alright, really quick little focaccia break here. So when the dough is ready to turn out, you're going to prep your pan with lots and lots of olive oil. Make sure to get the sides to prevent sticking. This is a very sticky dough, so we've got to be careful. Speaking of being careful, be real gentle pouring the dough out. Make sure you do it real gently. You don't want to lose any of the rise that you've been building up for the last 14 hours. Then we're going to do the first of several stretches just to try to get the dough all the way into the corners of the pan. What we're doing is teaching the gluten to take on a new shape, and it's going to take a little bit of time to do that. So go ahead and cover it up. We use the saran wrap from before. Waste not, want not. This is the second stretch. Starting to get closer, starting to also rise a little bit more as it's out at room temperature. Before you do the last stretch, go and preheat the oven to 350 so that it's ready by the time this last stretch and rest is completed. So once you've done the final stretch, then you're actually going to put a brine on the dough, which seems very strange. But Samin tells me it's good, and I can tell you it's good because I've done it too. Makes it really crispy and salty and delicious. So do it. You need 1/3 of a cup of water and some salt. How much salt? Is it half a teaspoon? Fact checker. And then after that, you can add a little bit more oil on the top, never hurts. And then flaky sea salt is definitely the way to go. If you don't have that regular kosher salt or sea salt, will definitely still do the trick. I happen to have some thyme and I added it on top. I've done it with rosemary. I've done it with sliced olives. All those ways were really good. More often than not, I just do salt and oil. Then you put it in the oven for about 28 to 30 minutes, depending on your oven. Halfway through, you probably want to rotate it to make sure it's getting an even bake. And then when you get it out, you're going to let it cool probably about 10 minutes in the pan before you start trying to handle it. You'll probably have to use a spatula to get up and underneath it to separate it from the pan. Then pretty soon, we're going to tear it apart. Alright, back to talking with Sam and Jack.
So,
But you, Kari.
My dreams are rarely to do with real people or places I've been, but I do have quite a few recurring scenes, like different locales. And I don't think I've ever looked somebody directly in the face in a dream.
Whoa.
There's just like people around and we like are interacting, but I don't get to like look them right in the face.
Whoa.
A lot of waiting around, a lot of implications, but nothing necessarily unfolds while I'm dreaming. It's just implied, oh, we're waiting for this to happen.
For
or
sure.
This already happened.
For sure. Did you know, apparently, speaking of faces, all the faces that you dream are faces that you've seen
before.
in real life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What? Which is really interesting.
Yeah.
I would love to access the part of the brain that just has filed away strangers' faces.
Yeah.
I wonder if that statistic actually means your brain can't make up features, but it's just drawing from features.
Yeah. I
You've
wonder
seen.
if it's like a whole face or like just one nose of one person and a set of eyes from another.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I've been having exclusively anxiety dreams for this entire year. I know. Some of them are easier than others. Last night I had one where I was somehow bumped into my old boss who used to stress me out the most. I bumped into her and then had to be rehired, and I left the place with her. She just kind of assumed that I was moving to Korea, but I also didn't correct her. So when I left, and in my dream, she like is kind of hinting at, weren't you supposed to be in Korea? And I was like sick the entire time I was there, so I'm trying to hide me being sick because I'm at work. And she's like, oh no, you can't be sick, there's students around here. And I guess like COVID kind of
I was gonna ask if it was in
that was like
COVID world.
it was.
I've never had
slightly in a
COVID come into my
world.
dreams.
Yeah, well, that was the first time.
Yikes.
I think. Oof.
I don't want that
Woof.
to happen to you again or to me ever.
Yeah,
please.
I was like, please, I don't want to have to work for her again.
Oh man.
Yeah.
When you have non-anxiety dreams, what kind of...
Oh, they're fucking
Things do they contain?
amazing. Oh my gosh, yeah, I was telling you, usually my dreams are all different, but the locations are the same. And I have a large catalog of locations, and if I want to dream in a place that I am in real life, I have to examine every detail of the room, and I can dream it.
Oh yeah, you did tell me that. You know what it made me think of? You know what it made me think of?
Right.
Is you've seen Surf's Up. You've seen Surf's Up?
I've seen
Is it the penguin surfing
It's the penguin
movie?
surfing
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Oh man,
And
Shia LaBeouf,
Shia LaBeouf,
Zooey
yep.
Deschanel.
Oh, that's
A
right.
couple of other people. Kelly Slater's in it for like a little cameo.
Oh, cool.
A couple of other surfers are in it too. But the way that they made that movie was they animated all of the scenes and they put little motion detector bulbs inside of a giant warehouse and went in with an actual camera and like filmed the scenes unfolding. So it actually feels like a held camera.
Wow.
It's so
That's
cool.
So cool.
Oh my
Now
gosh.
I want to
Highly,
rewatch that movie.
highly recommend rewatching the movie with that knowledge, and also if you can find the like behind the scenes somewhere.
And it's so cool knowing that we went to school with people that are just like, that's their shit. And
I
they have it
know.
on lock.
I know. We're basically them. We basically
Basically. We
made all of the
work at
best
DreamWorks.
movies. Yeah. You guys have us to thank for that.
Surf's Up DreamWorks?
I believe so.
Yeah, that seems like a DreamWorks thing.
Isn't Pixar now merged with DreamWorks or
Is it
something
really?
like that?
I think Disney owns Pixar now.
Disney Pixar.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
It's like the same thing now.
Yeah, before they used to be separate. And Disney was like,
Come
not
here.
so fast.
Come here, little buddy.
We have Mickey.
Wait, so we talked about this on the actual day, in the actual dinner. We talked a lot about baseball. In fact, I think it was for about 25 minutes. There's like a 25-minute clip of us talking about baseball.
Oh, yeah.
So what's the old update? Any more
What's the old
teams
update?
come
yeah,
on out?
the Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals had 12 of their players and staff test positive for it. And that was, I think that was over the weekend that happened. And they have had to cancel, I think 17 games are affected or something like that so far.
Wow,
by
it's just a
coronavirus.
ripple effect.
Yeah, especially when there's only supposed to be 60 games in this season because it's already shortened. Already having to reschedule 17 games for a team, or even a couple
Oh, so
teams.
they're just postponing all the games?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So it's like they still got to play those games, I guess. I think what baseball is doing, or what at least some teams have an option of, they have their farm league. Let's say 8 of their players get COVID and they can't play for, however many games that would be. They would bring up some players from their minor league team just to fill the spot so that they could still play. But at the same time, that totally is a
A different team.
yeah, it's going to impact their season no matter what. I don't think that they'll make it through a season the way that they're doing it. I think it's gonna fall apart pretty quickly.
Do you think it was irresponsible to make a season happen this year?
I think that it was more about the way that they could have done it. I think that basketball's been pretty responsible in the way that they've got it contained in the bubble there. It's actually pretty impressive. Orlando, Florida has on their campus of Disney World, they have an ESPN campus, which is this big complex with a lake and all these golf courses and shit like that. And that's all just quarantined off to people that only stay in the bubble. And everybody gets tested every day. There's no leaving the bubble. And if you do have to leave for a family emergency, you have to stay in your room quarantined for 2 weeks until you can come out. And there's no fans, obviously. All the reporters or people calling the games are 20 feet away from the thing, and all have their own plexiglass area that they
Are
stay
they also
in.
in the bubble too?
They're also in the
Yeah.
bubble. Yeah, nobody who is in the bubble can leave and then without coming back and having to quarantine for 2 weeks. And
are
they've
all,
had
all
zero.
the teams, every single team.
Every
that's
team,
there?
yeah, because
That's crazy.
there's 3 or 4 hotels that are just
Wow.
housing. That's a way where they've actually contained it,
Yeah.
where there aren't any cases in the bubble, just
Yeah.
because it's so locked down, and you just hope that they keep that going. But
And
the
same with
whole
the reporters too.
yeah, everybody who's there has to stay. Reporters, players, the barbers who cut the, yeah. But the baseball way that they're doing it is pretty. There's a lot of holes in it. Obviously, already it's pretty exposed. With it just being like, the third week of the season.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see how sports in 2020 goes down in history. If people are going to be like, that was totally worth it, or that was pretty irresponsible, or that was like sort of neutral, it's just a thing that happened.
Right.
I think it'll be a mixed bag depending on the sport.
Definitely. Let's see, we talked about dreams and sports. What else is there? Hello, baby. Thank you so much for watching. It means the world to me. I'm having a lot of fun doing this, and it helps when people watch what I make. Now, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. If you have not already watched my other videos, you could go watch them now and send one to a friend who you think might like my stuff.
That was either terrible or sick.